Yo, dig this. It's your man, Coach Mike D, with another episode of the Mindset QB. And I want to re-emphasize something that I state all the time on social media and across the board. Our minds are not for sale. Our minds are not for sale. And I'm speaking specifically to the fellas, man. The thing that's interesting about society, it's if you pay attention to various forces that are out there, if you pay attention to social media, to various brand messaging, when you pay attention to some of the leadership that's currently out there, both in popular culture and politics and sports, etc., everybody is looking to take control of your mind. Now, your mind is not your brain, right? Your mind is like a combination of it all: your spirit, mind, body, your emotions, experiences, all of that. That's the thing that all of these forces are after. They're looking to take control of your mind. And we have to remember that our minds are not for sale. Our minds are not for sale. Despite what people may believe, your mind is not for sale. And if you're not careful, you're actually putting your mind up on the open market to be sold. And this is why we have to really take control of our mindset. We have to understand our emotional triggers. We have to recognize our vulnerabilities. We have to be mindful of what's going on around us because our environmental factors have a direct correlation with our mindset. Again, you hear me talk about this all the time. There are five components to your mindset: your beliefs, your experiences, your relationships, the stories you tell yourself, and how you view yourself, right? Those are all like core components to the construction of your mindset. And if you're not careful, forces that are out there are going to make every effort and every attempt to manipulate and place little bugs in those areas of your life. And if you allow them to do so, they then, in essence, implant something that takes control of your mindset. And your mindset is the operating system which determines the actions that you take. Fellas, we got to be mindful of that, man. And these forces that are out there are so covert, like you don't even realize you're being manipulated, right? You think that somebody is, flirting with you and all of that, but that's all manipulation. You think that somebody is giving you compliments and doing this and doing that and fanning the flames of what you got going on. You're being manipulated. These are covert actions at times from various forces to get windows in to your mindset. And once your mindset is controlled, your actions, they don't have to worry about your actions because your actions are a byproduct of your mindset. Carter G. Woodson said famously in his book from, I believe it's the 1930s, called The Miseducation of the Negro. He said, when you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Again, when a person's mindset has been warped, their actions will be warped. Their actions will follow suit. But our mindset is not for sale. And if we're not careful, we're putting our minds on the open market, man. And it's frustrating because when you see how people are moving at times, and when you see what tactics are being utilized, I encourage everybody. There are two books that I encourage everybody to read: The 48 Laws of Power and The Art of War. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and The Art of War. Those two are not instruction manuals on how you operate. Those are actually a window into how other people operate so that you can get a glimpse as to the strategies and the tactics that are in play. And when you start to understand it, you can put two and two together and you can watch a particular leader or a politician or a coach or a public figure, and you can look at the moves that they're making. You can listen to the things that they're saying, and it'll all line up. It's manipulation. Again, they are trying to purchase your mind. And if we're not careful, we're making it an item that's up for sale. And I'm just saying we have to be mindful of that. If you want to be the quarterback of your mindset, meaning if you want to take control and, in essence, dictate what's going on, you have to be aware that there are forces that are actively trying to purchase your mindset. And it doesn't mean that they're paying for it. It just means that they're trying to manipulate and get control of that thing. Because I don't know, it's just fascinating to me. And what's interesting, even really smart people don't even realize they're being manipulated. I would encourage everybody to really take an inventory of the thoughts that you're having. And I want you to really stop and really think about it to determine whether or not the thoughts that you have are actually your own. See, this is interesting. So you can look at the data. I believe it's stated that you take in roughly 10 million bits of data every second through your five senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, right? Your five senses, you take in roughly 10 million bits of data every second. The thing about it is, with the input of those data points, you're taking in information, and that information is kind of getting logged into your system, so to speak. And you don't even realize that that is influencing at times the things that you're thinking about. It's like a subconscious thing. You don't even realize it. The 10 million bits of data that you take in every second, your brain only processes 30 to 50. That's it, 30 to 50 of 10 million. So the overwhelming majority of the inputs that come in, you're unaware of. It's like completely subconscious or unconscious, right? And the thing that's interesting about that is that we don't even realize all of those things, all of those data points and the bits of data that we take in go to manipulate our mindset. And again, if we're not careful, that's what ends up happening. We get manipulated. And then you come to realize, if you're honest about it, the thoughts that you're having aren't your own. Those things are manipulated from the experiences or the things that you've been exposed to. Now, if you take it a step further and you realize that a lot of forces understand this, so now there's a concerted effort to do the manipulating. It takes everything to another level. I heard somebody say something a while back, and it said, your willpower has nothing against thousands of data scientists actively trying to manipulate what it is you say and do. It's interesting because if you think about social media with the algorithms, and it's no longer simply the data scientists, we're now talking about autonomous AI, right? Or generative AI. So now you have systems in place that are learning to do so without human interference. It was created by humans, but now the systems can kind of run themselves. I said all of this to say your minds are for sale. And if we're not careful, we're going to put them on the open market. That being said, I'm going to encourage everybody out there to just be mindful of the things that you take in. Take a moment every so often just to stop and reflect. Think through the notion of whether or not these thoughts are your own, or am I being manipulated? When somebody says something that's questionable, it's questionable for a reason. Go down a rabbit hole, deep dive, and understand it a little bit. Because when you understand where this thing is coming from, it kind of gives you a window into their intentions, and everybody's intentions are not wholesome. Okay. Despite how they present, everybody's intentions are not wholesome. And we don't want to be influenced by those that don't have the right intentions. In my latest book, well, I guess it's almost 2 years now, but it's the 33 Laws of Impact and Fulfillment. One of the things that I emphasize in there is to open source your learning, but closely guard your counsel. So you can learn from anybody, but be very careful who you let in, because who you let in has the capacity to influence your mindset. And if your mindset gets influenced, your actions are going to be a byproduct. So, just something that was on my mind, wanted to drop it. And I hope this has been beneficial. I hope this is something for you all to think about. Listen, your mind is not for sale. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is not for sale. Despite what other people may believe, your mind is not for sale. I want you to claim that and realize that you are the quarterback of your mindset. All right. Well, hey, as always, y'all make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I'm Coach Mike D, the Mindset QB, not your Mindset QB. I'm my Mindset QB, but I'm here to encourage and empower you to become the quarterback of your mindset. Because guess what? Nobody has control of your mindset but you. You are the quarterback. Y'all be blessed, well, and wise. Have an amazing day.